Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome to the Lifestyle Revolution and Cleanse. So today we're going to be reading from Soulcraft, a beautiful book by Bill Plotkin. Welcoming home the loyal soldier. To loosen your attachment to less mature identity, you will have to alter your relationship to the subpersonality that is naturally most resistant to such a thing. Subpersonalities are constellations of behaviour, feelings and thought within the psyche that function more or less independently. The subpersonality in question here, the loyal soldier, formed when you were very young. Its mission was to develop and deploy whatever strategies were necessary to assure your social, psychological and physical survival. A loyal soldier is a fortunate ally indeed in childhood. The image of the loyal soldier derives from a World War II epilogue. Hundreds of Japanese Marines and soldiers who survived shipwrecks or plane crashes in the Pacific found themselves stranded alone or in small groups or uninhabited or sparsely settled islands. Some of them managed to endure despite extreme conditions and severe social cultural isolation. Several of these soldiers were discovered many years after the war had ended, one of them 35 years later. The most astonishing thing is that when they found these men exhibited an extraordinary, perhaps fanatical loyalty to their military mission. Unaware the war had ended, each person upon being found was ready to immediately return to the war effort. They were told, of course, the war was over and that Japan had lost. But this was literally unthinkable to them. The war could not be over because their loyalty to the cause was what had kept them alive all those years. The rescued soldiers were welcomed home in Japan with great honour and celebration despite their stubborn belief in the discredited cause of military empire building. The Japanese people deeply respected the soldiers' capacity to sacrifice their personal agenda for a greater cause. Their sustained welcome as heroes eventually enabled the soldiers to reinvent themselves and to productively rejoin society. Each of us has a loyal soldier subpersonality. A courageous, creative and stubborn entity formed when we needed somewhat drastic measures to survive the realities, sometimes dysfunctional, of childhood. This subpersonality's primary task was to minimize the occurrence of further injury, whether emotional or physical. The loyal soldier's approach to this task was and continues to be to make us small or invisible, to suppress much of our natural exuberance, emotions, desires and wildness so we might be sufficiently acceptable to our parents and or other guardians, siblings, teachers and authority figures. The loyal soldier learns to restrain another subpersonality we might call the wild child, our original, sensual, magical, untamed self that has an essential relationship to the soul and is not interested in limiting itself in any way. Common loyal soldier survival strategies include harsh self-criticism, to make us, the ego, feel unworthy and thus ineligible for wild child actions that might bring further punishment, abandonment or criticism. Placing our personal agenda last so as to not displease or arouse anger or envy. Other codependent behaviours such as caretaking, rescuing, enabling, to stave off abandonment. Pleasing but immature and inauthentic personas, partial or complete social withdrawal to minimise hurtful contacts, adopting an unpleasant or downtrodden appearance to protect us from criticism, restricting our range of feeling by encouraging us to be always in charge, busy, angry, ruthless, withdrawn and or numb, and suppressing our intelligence, talent, enthusiasm, sensuality and wellness by locking these qualities in an inaccessible corner of our psyches. In each case, these strategies keep us safe by splitting off or blocking much of our potential and our magnificence. The loyal soldier's adamant and accurate understanding is this: it is better to be suppressed or inauthentic or small than socially isolated or emotionally crushed or dead. I'm going to read that again. The loyal soldier's adamant and accurate understanding is this: it is better to be suppressed or inauthentic or small than socially isolated or emotionally crushed or dead. The loyal soldier did, in fact, keep us safe enough in childhood. The problem is that the loyal soldier strategies become bedrock to our survival and are defended to the death, even after the war is over. A superstitious belief system develops. The loyal soldier becomes convinced, outside of our ego's awareness, that these particular strategies are absolutely and eternally necessary to protect a third sub-personality, our wounded child, our emotional, sensual, playful and vulnerable part. The loyal soldier's fear of the interpersonal horrors that would result from fully embodying our wild child keeps us attached to our former identity. The loyal soldier does not and cannot believe the war of childhood survival is over. He may even intentionally provoke new battles just to prove his point. I'm going to finish it there. Go check it out yourself. We're at page 93, Soulcraft, Crossing the Mysteries of Nature and Psyche, Bill Plotkin. Oh, beautiful friends, the war is over. The war is over. The war is over. The war is over.